Hello everyone, welcome back to Crack Grade B to another session of PIB. My name is Masoom. I'll be your new mentor of PIB sessions. So today we are going to discuss some important news article of 14th of January. So let's discuss. So the first news says Prime Minister has released first installment to 1 lakh beneficiaries of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana under Pradhan Mantri Janman scheme. So first we will discuss some key facts about this scheme so that we can understand the current events well. Okay, so this scheme full form is Pradhan Mantri Janjati Adivasi Nyay Maha Abhiyan. Okay, so the name of the scheme itself tells us the objective of this scheme. This scheme wants to provide justice to whom? To Adivasi, that means to tribes. Here specifically we want to provide justice to whom? To particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Now, who are particularly vulnerable tribal groups? Basically, this is the subcategory of scheduled tribes that are more vulnerable the other scheduled tribes. Okay? This scheme was launched on 15th of November 2023 on the occasion of Janjatiya Gaurav Divas. From where? From Khunti district of Jharkhand. The few things that you should remember in this scheme is, this scheme is launched specifically for PVTGs, launched on 15th November 2023 from Khunti district of Jharkhand. And this scheme has been launched by Government of India to realize the government's vision to reach the last mile. That means to reach the last citizen of the country, to provide the benefits of government schemes to the last citizen. And here the last citizen will be the PVTGs, that is particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Okay, as we are talking about particularly vulnerable tribal groups, so this scheme comes under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So this scheme comes under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Okay, and the budgetary outlay of this scheme is 24,104 crores with a center share of 15,300 crore and state share of 8,000, approximately 8,700 crores. You just need to remember the approximate figure that the budgetary outlay of this scheme is 24,100 crore rupees. Okay? The scheme will be implemented from fiscal year 2024 to fiscal year 2026. Now, the scheme will not be implemented all over India. Basically, this scheme will be implemented in 19 states and UT, out of which 18 are states and 1 is UT. You don't have to remember the name of these 18 states, but you have to remember the name of this one UT, that is Andaman and Nicobar Island. That is Andaman and Nicobar Island. Okay? This can be asked in the exam. So it will cover the 75 particularly vulnerable tribal communities of India. That will cover around 28 lakh of PVTG's population. In the starting, I told you that this scheme wants to provide justice. But how we will provide justice to them? We will provide justice to them by providing the 11 basic amenities of life with the help of 9 ministries of Government of India. Now these 11 basic amenities are households, drinking water and sanitation, education, health, nutrition, electricity, road and telecom connectivity and sustainable livelihood opportunities. Okay, you should remember all these 11 basic amenities name. And this scheme wants to ensure that 100% of the government schemes is saturated among the PVTG majority tribal habitations. That means they have access to the schemes of all these ministries so that their all the basic needs are met and they can live a decent living. Okay, as now we have discussed the basics about this scheme, now let's discuss some current facts. So the current facts is, first fact is first installment of 540 crores has been released. You have to remember this fact that first installment of rupees 540 crores has been released to the beneficiaries of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana under Pradhan Mantri Janman Yojana, because there was one basic amenity was household facility. So to provide the household facility to these communities, the government has released the first installment of 540 crores. Now each beneficiary will get 2.5 lakh rupees to build a pakka house. Okay, and government has also extended the free ration scheme for a period of 5 years so that they don't face any food related issues. Okay, as I'm talking about continuously about PVTGs. Now, how government will determine that these community belongs to PVTGs or which community do not belongs to this category? So the government has decided some criteria on the basis of which the PVTGs are identified. So the first criteria is pre-agricultural level of technology. That means they use old and traditional methods of agricultural practices. Second is low level of literacy, economic backwardness, and either their population is declining or stagnating. Okay, so you should remember these criteria because it was asked in UPSC exam and now it can be asked in your RBI or NABARD exam. Okay, so the next news says Prime Minister post rendition of song from great poet. Rendition means basically a performance of song from great poet. Now, who is this great poet? This great poet is Anunchala Kavirayars, and song name was Ramanatakam and it was sung by Ashwath Narayanan. You have to remember only these 3 facts. Other than this, nothing is important. Okay, so the next news says that Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution participated in the 60th Foundation Day of Food Corporation of India. Okay, so the news is only this, no major initiatives was announced. The news was 60th Foundation Day of which organization? Food Corporation of India. You should remember this fact about 60th Foundation Day, and which organization celebrated? Food Corporation of India celebrated. Okay, so Food Corporation of India was established on 14th January 1965. You don't have to remember this date, you just have to remember the launch year. Okay, so Food Corporation of India was set up in 1965 under an Act of Parliament, that is Food Corporations Act of 1964. As this body is set up under the Act of Parliament, then this body is a statutory body. Any body which is set up under the Act of Parliament is known as statutory body. Hence, Food Corporation of India is a statutory body and it comes under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. Okay, so the basic objective of Food Corporation of India is to ensure food security in the country by basically maintaining buffer stocks of food grains so that they can distribute it with the help of public distribution system to the poor and marginalized, and the basic needs of their food is met. Okay, so the next news says open market sales scale domestic operations have proved to be an effective tool in moderating the price of rice and wheat. The news is only this. Now let's understand about this scheme. So open market sales scheme, basically this scheme is specifically for wheat and rice, to manage the price of wheat and rice, basically to curb the inflationary tendencies in the prices of wheat and rice. Okay, so under this scheme, Food Corporation of India offers its surplus food grains of wheat and rice at prices fixed by whom? Fixed by Ministry of Consumer Affairs in an open market through e-auction. Okay? Why Food Corporation of India offers its surplus food grains? Basically to curb the inflation in the prices of wheat and rice. Now let's briefly understand how this scheme works. See, what happens when the price of wheat and rice is increasing in the market? It is increasing in the market. It is basically hurting the purchasing power of the poor and marginalized, because the rich people can afford even the products at higher prices. But what about the poor and marginalized? They will not be able to afford it. So that's why to reduce this rising price of wheat and rice, Food Corporation of India comes into the picture. What Food Corporation of India do? It basically through e-auction increases the supply of what? Of wheat and rice. Okay? And when it increases the supply of wheat and rice, through e-auction in an open market, it basically increases the availability of what? Availability of wheat and rice in the market. ठीक है? As the demand of law and supply states that, the law of supply says when the supply of any product, increases in the market, the price of that product decreases. On the basis of this law, the price of wheat and rice reduces in the market, thereby curbing the inflation in the market. ठीक है? I hope you understood this, how this scheme works. ठीक है? The major objective of this scheme is basically to curb inflation. Remember the important fact, this scheme is only for traders, not for the bulk buyers. ठीक है? The scheme is only for traders, not for the bulk buyers. And there are certain limits for which you can bid, for which the traders can bid. So in case of wheat, the minimum quantity for which the traders can bid is 10 metric tons, and in case and the maximum quantity that they can bid for is 100 metric tons. Okay, and in case of rice, the limit is bit different. The traders are eligible and can bid up to the traders can bid for a minimum quantity of 10 metric tons, but the maximum quantity that they can bid for is 1000 metric tons. You should remember that the maximum quantity for wheat is 100 metric tons, but in case of rice it is 1000 metric tons. ठीक है? I hope you understood. Now the next news is launch of 25th Bollard Pull Tug. So this news is specifically important for your phase 1. So in this news you just have to remember this. The name of the 25th Bollard Pull Tug is Bhishma. I know you remember Bhishma Pitama from Mahabharata, who was very strong. So this tug is as strong as him. So 25th Bollard Pull Tug का name क्या है? Bhishma. ठीक है? You should remember this fact. And where it is launched? It is launched at MS Titagarh Rail Systems Limited, Kolkata. ठीक है? You have to remember only these two facts. ठीक है? Now how this tug will help? Basically these tug will help the naval ships and submarines during their berthing and unberthing operations, and it will also help them during the search and rescue operations. Okay? Now the next news is Commission for Air Quality Management Subcommittee recommended for the operationalization of GRAP in Delhi NCR region. ठीक है? So this committee, Commission for Air Quality Management, recommended to implement GRAP. What is GRAP? GRAP is basically Graded Response Action Plan in Delhi NCR region. But why they recommended? Because the air quality index of Delhi NCR region has further deteriorated due to very low wind speed, rise in the moisture levels, low mixing heights, and large scale stubble burning. So the news is only this, that they recommended to implement GRAP measures in Delhi NCR region because the air quality index of Delhi further deteriorated because of all these reasons. Okay? So now let's discuss in brief about this commission. So this Commission for Air Quality Management, was set up in 2021. Okay? This is an important fact that you should remember. When this commission was set up, it replaced the Environmental Pollution Prevention Control Authority. This is another important fact that you should remember. And this committee and this commission is set up under an Act of Parliament, that is Commission for Air Quality Management in National Capital Region and Adjoining Areas Act of 2021. Therefore, it is a statutory body. Okay? Because it is established under an Act of Parliament. Now, why this commission was set up? This commission was basically set up to facilitate coordination among Delhi NCR region and adjoining area state, so that they can find what are the reasons why the pollution is increasing in Delhi NCR region and adjoining areas, and what can be the possible solutions for it. Okay? And as I am talking about continuously about adjoining areas, so you should remember the names of these areas. There are 4 states is NCR, namely Punjab, Haryana, UP and Rajasthan. ठीक है, you have to remember the name of all these 4 states. It is very important. Now the commission said that air quality index in Delhi has deteriorated further. So now let's talk about this index also. So this index was launched in 2014 under which Abhiyan? Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, because we want to make India a clean place, a Swachh place, ठीक है, and for this we need to tackle the problem of air pollution, ठीक है. This air quality index is basically based on one number, one color, one description mechanism, and how the air quality of Delhi is measured. Basically the air quality of Delhi is determined on the basis of concentration of 8 pollutants in the air of Delhi and NCR region. So these 8 pollutants are PM10, PM2.5, NO2, SO2, CO, O3, NH3 and PB. You have to remember the name of all these 8 pollutants. On the basis of the concentration of all these 8 pollutants in the air of Delhi, the quality of air is categorized into 6 categories, ठीक है, namely good, satisfactory, moderately polluted, poor, very poor and severe category, ठीक है. And in the news they talked about the implementation of GRAP in Delhi NCR region. So what is GRAP? As its name suggests, Graded Response Action Plan. That means it is an action plan. That means in which we will implement some measures so that the pollution of Delhi NCR region can be managed. ठीक है, it is a set of emergency measures. ठीक है, and it is implemented in stages. ठीक है, stage 1 of GRAP measures will be implemented when the national air quality index will be in the poor category. ठीक है, stage 2 of this GRAP measures will be implemented when the air quality index will be in the poor, very poor category. Stage 3 will be implemented when it will be in severe category, and stage 4 will be implemented when it will be in the severe plus category. ठीक है. So the next news talks about the success of Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. So under this Yojana, 30 crores Ayushman cards have been created across India, and it is a great milestone for this scheme. Now what is Ayushman cards? Basically by using the Ayushman cards, you and your family can get the health insurance of up to 5 lakh rupees for your secondary and tertiary care. ठीक है, so let's discuss some of the achievements of this scheme. That 30 crore Ayushman cards created. ठीक है, it is created since its launch. It was launched in 2018. ठीक है, 2018 से लेके अब तक हमने 30 करोड़ कार्ड्स को क्रिएट किया है. बट ड्यूरिंग 2023-24 वी क्रिएटेड 7.5 आयुष्मान कार्ड्स. ठीक है, 2018 से 30 करोड़ हमने कार्ड्स बनाए हैं, बट ड्यूरिंग 2023-24 वी क्रिएटेड अराउंड 7.5 करोड़ आयुष्मान कार्ड्स. ठीक है, एंड एवरी मिनट वी क्रिएटेड 181 आयुष्मान कार्ड्स. ठीक है, टू इंक्रीज द रीच ऑफ दिस स्कीम, National Health Authority basically in 2023 launched the Ayushman cards, so that you can easily get your Ayushman card from this app, and this was launched by National Health Authority. ठीक है, in the race of creating Ayushman cards, UP has topped the list in creation of Ayushman cards. Basically UP ने सबसे ज्यादा कार्ड्स बनाए हैं आयुष्मान कार्ड इन द होल इंडिया. ओके, सो 4.83 कार्ड्स हैव बीन क्रिएटेड बाय यूपी इटसेल्फ. इट हैज टॉप्ड द लिस्ट. इट इज फॉलोड बाय मध्य प्रदेश एंड महाराष्ट्र. यू शुड रिमेंबर दीज 3 स्टेट नेम्स बिकॉज इट कैन बी आस्क्ड इन द एग्जाम. फर्दर दिस scheme talks about data related to females. ठीक है, तो out of all the 30 crore Ayushman cards that was created in the country, 14.6 crore cards was created for females. ठीक है, this news is very important because it shows that 49% of the Ayushman cards were created only for female beneficiaries, and 40%, 48% of the treatment was availed by whom? It was availed by females of the country. So it is very important data that you should remember, that 49% of the cards was created for female and 48% was treatment was availed by the female itself. Okay? The next important data shows that poor and vulnerable population of the country have basically saved the out of pocket expenditure of more than 1.25 lakh crore rupees. Okay? As we talk about Pradhan Mantri Arogya Yojana, so let's discuss this scheme in brief. So this is basically a component of Ayushman Bharat Yojana. Okay? Ayushman Bharat Yojana has two components. First component is talks about health and wellness center. These center basically focus on primary care. Okay? These centers basically focus on primary care. And the second component of Ayushman Bharat Yojana is Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Okay? And this scheme was launched on 2018, as this scheme talks about health of the people. So this scheme comes under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and its implementing agency is National Health Authority. Okay? And under this scheme, health cover of rupees 5 lakh per family per year for secondary and tertiary care is provided. Okay? You should remember that this scheme is for secondary and tertiary care. Okay? The beneficiaries are basically identified. The beneficiaries are identified on the basis of socio-economic caste census of 2011. Okay? And it subsumed basically the Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana that was launched in 2008. And remember the important fact that there is no restriction on family size, age or gender. Whether your family is of 5 members or 2 members, it doesn't matter. You will get the health insurance of 5 lakh rupees for a family per year. Okay? It covers 3 days of pre-hospitalization expenses and 15 days of post-hospitalization expenses, and public hospitals are reimbursed on par with the private hospitals. Okay? So these were the some key facts that you have to remember. So please revise this fact again and again. The next news is state-of-the-art AI-supported telemedicine mobile clinic has been launched. So in this kind of news, you just have to remember few facts like what is the name of this AI-supported telemedicine mobile clinic. Okay? So the name is Arogya Doctors on Wheels. Okay? Remember this fact, the AI-supported telemedicine mobile clinic name क्या है? Arogya Doctors on Wheels, and it is launched for Ramnagar region in Udhampur district of Jammu and Kashmir. Remember this fact also. The first phase of this was started from Gandoha area of district Doda of Jammu Kashmir. ठीक है? Basically this telemedicine mobile clinic will help in increasing the reach of healthcare services in the Ramnagar region of Jammu Kashmir. ठीक है? So the next news says 2-day workshop cum training on making value products held. ठीक है? So basically these organizers organize the 2-day workshops for farmers and self-help group women so that they can make value-added products by using the CSIR technology. ठीक है? So this workshop held at Jawaharlal Nehru Rajkiya Mahavidyalaya, Port Blair, Andaman and Nicobar Island. You have to remember this fact where it was held. It held at Jawaharlal Nehru Rajkiya Mahavidyalaya, Port Blair, Andaman and Nicobar Island. ठीक है? Now the organizers are CSIR, National Institute of Science Communication Policy Research, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, Vijnana Bharti, Department of Scientific and Industrial Research and Jawaharlal Nehru Rajkiya Mahavidyalaya. ठीक है? So you have to remember these facts also. ठीक है? As I told you, that is under this workshop 2-day training will be provided to make value-added products from the CSR technologies like pandemus fruitizing technology, decentralized solar thermal dryer, dehumidifier dryer technology and betel nuts technology. ठीक है? And in this event, the farmers were introduced with the Kisan Sabha mobile app. So let's discuss some basics or some key facts about the Kisan Sabha app. So this app was launched on 2020. ठीक है. Why this app was launched? Basically this Kisan Sabha app was launched so that the farmers can be connected to the supply chain and freight transportation management system, so that their products can be transferred from one place to another without the need of any middleman. ठीक है. It will basically eliminate the need of middleman, thus thereby increasing the profit margins of farmers. ठीक है. And this app was developed by CSIR, Central Road Research Institute, New Delhi. ठीक है. You have to remember this fact also. ठीक है. And this app, basically this app has 6 major modules. One module is for farmers, second is for mandi dealers, third is for transporter, then for mandi board members and service providers and consumers. ठीक है. So the next news says, embark on a journey of scientific marvels at Indian Institute of Science Festival. Basically, Indian Institute of Science Festival has celebrated its 9th edition. ठीक है. Indian Institute of Science Festival celebrated its 9th edition. Why this festival is celebrated? Basically to celebrate the scientific temper in the country. Basically to recognize the efforts of that has been made in the field of science and technology. ठीक है. So it was celebrated as Translational Health Science and Technology Institute, Regional Center for Biotechnology, Faridabad, Haryana. ठीक है. You should remember where it is celebrated. The theme of this festival is Science and Technology Public Outreach in Amrit Kal. ठीक है. So while celebrating this festival, one challenge was launched. The name of this challenge is Face to Face with New Frontiers of Science and Technology. Basically this challenge was launched to generate some curiosity among the youth of the country, so that they can play a major role to make India a global leader in the field of science and technology. ठीक है. And this challenge was coordinated by Indian National Science Academy, National Innovation Foundation India and Vijnana Bharati. And the objective of the event is to facilitate interaction among students and researchers, to develop youth leadership and to empower future innovators. ठीक है. And while celebrating this festival, we also celebrated the Science Literature Festival. That its name is Vigyanika. We celebrated this festival basically to tell the world India's science and tech achievements, and to effectively communicate with everyone about our achievements in the field of science and technology. So the coordinating organization for this festival was CSIR, National Institute of Science, Communication and Policy Research, and National Innovation Foundation India and Vijnana Bharati. This fact you should remember. There will be a panel discussion at this festival on the theme of Apni Bhasha Apna Vigyan, strengthening science community in Indian languages. And there will be a special session also on the theme of science communication for Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. The meaning of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam is one earth, one family. ठीक है. So as I told you that Indian Institute of Science Festival celebrated its 9th edition. So the first celebration took place in 2015. ठीक है. And this festival is a collaborative effort of Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Earth and Sciences, Department of Space, Department of Atomic Energy and Vijnana Bharati. ठीक है. And Science Media Communication Cell is basically a coordinator, and that facilitates the media publicity of this festival. ठीक है. Next news talks about call for nominations announced under Rashtriya Vigyan Scheme. Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar. Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar is basically National Science Award that is given to facilitate the contribution of major individuals or teams in the field of science and technology and innovation. ठीक है. It was instituted in 2023 and it is given in the 4 categories. So you should remember the name of all these 4 categories. ठीक है. So the first category is Vigyan Ratna. It is given basically to recognize the lifetime achievement of any individual in the field of science and technology. ठीक है. So second category is Vigyan Shri. It means to recognize the distinguished contribution in the field of science and technology. Next is Vigyan Yuva. Yuva, as its name suggests, it is for the youth, and this category is also known as Shanti Swaroop Bhatnagar Award. It is basically to recognize the effort of any young scientist in the field of science and technology and innovation. And the next category is Vigyan Team, and it is basically given to a team of scientists who has contributed immensely in the field of science and technology and innovation, and it is given in the 13 domains. You should remember that it is given in the 13 domains, but you don't have to remember the name of these domains. ठीक है. And the nomination is being invited on award portal of Ministry of Home Affairs, and the award this year will be coordinated by whom? Coordinated by CSIR under the Ministry of Science and Technology, and the awards will be announced on National Technology Day and National Space Day, and whenever the awards will be announced, we will discuss this also. ठीक है. So आज के लिए बस इतना ही. I hope you understood all the news properly. Thank you so much for being a listening patient. Thank you so much. We will in the next session we will discuss some important news article of 15th of January. Thank you.